Hello there and welcome back to another video. In Minecraft there are many different types of things you can do. For example, there is PvP, which you have to train for and get better over time. Then there's redstone, where you have to learn all the components and how to build certain constructions. But then there's building. And for building you kind of need to have an eye for it. But in this video I want to show you a few little tips and tricks how you can improve your building right from the start. Okay, so I'm in my Twitch town, or however I'll call it later on, which is basically a city I'm building for my Twitch followers, and I've built a few houses already. And my first tip will be to find yourself some reference images. Of course, for reference images, you first of all have to know what you want to build. For example, this house right there is a medieval styled house. So I've looked up some images of medieval houses, just like these two. And then there's some images of a suburban house that I've taken for this house. Or maybe a modern forest house, just like these pictures. Of course, there's this big mansion, and for this one, of course, I also used some reference images, and I think it was these two. And once you've found yourself some images that you think you can implement in Minecraft, and then you can start to put these images together and try to put different aspects of it together. For example, here I had this big roof and overlapping upper part, and then these little spiky things for the windows on top I used the other picture for. But of course, Minecraft has a limited amount of blocks, so you need to choose yourself some blocks that could go well with everything else and match the picture you got. And then you can try with many different blocks, and also for the interior you can try to find different blocks that, well, basically match everything. And yeah, also try to stick with the theme. So in the medieval house I have everything in a medieval style. Yeah, but the point here is to find yourself some blocks and play around. Just try to experiment and find some blocks that make sense. And it doesn't have to make sense, but it has to look good, because this is a beehive that you can't actually do much with, but it looks like a draw, so it kind of fits the theme of being in a house, at least in my opinion. Good, so moving on to the next tip. If you are in creative mode, you of course have much more possibilities than in survival mode. And this tip is about building your houses or buildings or whatever in creative mode before you are trying to build it in survival mode, because it's much easier to find the blocks you want and the blocks that look good. So I recommend to first build yourself the house in creative mode fully with everything, interior and all of it, so that you don't have to find some good looking things while having to build the house. So it's much easier to find how everything is looking and to know what you need for the build. Also, regarding what blocks you need, this is the next tip. If you have world edit, you can very easily, by typing / wand, you can select an area, for example this one, and up here, and like this, you could then technically mask only the dark prismarine, for example, and then set it to air, and then you'll have a clear number of blocks that you need from the dark prismarine. I can show you with some gold and diamond blocks. For example, if I put some here and also some like this, just some random block placement, just to get an idea of how many there are. Let's remove this one, and then like this. So you can see right there that these blocks are generally 54. But if you now type / gmask diamond block and then set all of it to air, just simply like this, the diamond blocks will disappear, and now you have the clear number of diamond blocks that were in there. For example, right there, 18 blocks. If we now do the same thing with gold blocks and remove all of them as well, now we have the second number, which is 11. So we had 18 diamond blocks and 11 gold blocks. And it's actually that simple. You can then go for everything in the house and remove every single different block. And like that, you can then count how many you need and basically gather all the resources before building, so you don't have to get more once you already started building. Now the fifth and last tip for this video is to think of your geometry. I know it sounds a lot like math and like, well, school and stuff like that, but it's not difficult. It really isn't. For example, you have this big mansion right there. You can definitely tell that it's not symmetrical. So this side looks different than this one. And that just adds some character. You can of course make something very big that has the same blocks and patterns on both sides. But I think it's much prettier and more organic if you change things up. For example, there's a more or less little tower and there's a bigger one. Then there's a little fountain. Well, there is a... I don't even know what it is, but yeah, this thing. And it's very asymmetrical. Also from behind, it's way different on the one side than the other one. And that just adds the little aspect of interest. But yeah, if you want a house for yourself in this world, you can check out my Twitch channel right there. And I think in the near future I will start a server where you can actually go through this world and just basically look at everything and visit your own house. And yeah, everything is customizable, therefore we have a pink and yellow striped house with black dots. It's very interesting. And this one was customized as well, and this one as well. But this one is the main building, like it's technically my house. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, I hope I helped. And with all of that said, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like if it was helpful. So with that, I hope I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.